Election. The formal process of selecting a person for public office or of accepting or rejecting a political proposition by voting. That is the definition. But in many climes, it may not be the spirit amongst participants and their supporters. Two states, Edo and Ondo states, will be seeing the race for the government house go to the wire this year, with the sprint to the government house GRA Benin to take center stage first. We'll update you on events from Benin and Abuja. Also, the 9th National Assembly marked its first year anniversary last week. We'll interrogate the concept of representation in our democracy and ask questions on proactive legislations to reflect the new realities in the country and around the globe. We'll also have an eye on efforts at the state level to boost industry and reduce unemployment. As this is Political Update, I'm Fisayo Ogunfoyi. Welcome. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State has formally resigned his membership of the All Progressives Congress APC. The governor made this decision known today.
I'm sure the whole country knows and is aware of what has gone on with me and the party chairman, the party leadership, which culminated in my disqualification as a gubernatorial aspirant. And upon that unfortunate decision by the chairman of the All Progressive Congress, I'm just here today to inform you that I have now decided formally to resign my membership of the All Progressive Congress. Having done that, I will now announce in the next few days my specific line of action and what platform I will be contesting the gubernatorial elections on.
Nigerians may like to know, why have you decided to come to the State House to make this your decision known?
I said that before I make a decision, I have to show respect to my president, who I adore, who for me is an epitome of incorruptibility, an epitome of order, an epitome of lawfulness. This is a man who, for him, that is what Nigeria should be about. I think I owe him that respect to come and tell him what I have done and why I have decided to take the decision I took.
Our correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that Governor Obaseki was, however, not granted audience at the moment, so we will get an update of that as soon as we get updates from, of course, correspondent who eventually, incidentally asked this second question there. Meanwhile, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress had earlier in the week approved the reports of the party's Edo governorship screening and appeal committees that disqualified 3 out of 6 gubernatorial aspirants vying to contest the party's primary election. The party's national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, gave assurance of a free and fair direct governorship primary billed for the 22nd of this month.
The National Working Committee's decision on this has formally affirmed the eligibility of the 3 aspirants for the forthcoming governorship primary election in Edo State.
So the NWC has reviewed the 2 reports, the ground for disqualification and the grounds for qualification. And we are satisfied that the appeal committee did a thorough job, and their job has actually enriched or further reinforced the findings of the screening committee. And accordingly, the NWC unanimously approved of the report of the screening committee and the appeal committee, which means that, as recommended by the 2 committees, Matthew Diokeme stand disqualified. We also upheld the recommendation that Governor Godwin Nogegase Obaseki is disqualified.
Chairman of the Screening Appeal Committee, Abubakar Rifari, who presented the committee's report to the national chairman of the party, said only one person appealed his disqualification and was thereafter upheld in accordance with the recommendation of the Screening Committee.
So on the basis of that and the findings of the Screening Committee, we decided that his disqualification should be upheld, and it is so.
National Chairman of APC, Adams Oshomole, said the two reports are testimony to the party's desire to sanitize the pre-election processes.
Okay, so keep it locked on. The Nigerian Television Authority will be giving you events as they unfold from Edo State and other parties, as well as they put forward the screen candidates for the different primaries, of course, leading up to the gubernatorial elections scheduled for later this year, that's September to be precise. Now, moving on now, the 9th Assembly has marked its first year anniversary. Aoun Lami Ali in this report offers some highlights of the activities of the House of Representatives, called the representatives, of course, of the people.
From 1952, during the period of pre-independence, to 1960, when Jaja Nwachukwu was elected as the first indigenous speaker of the House of Representatives, up to the current speaker of the 9th House, Femi Gbajabiamila, Nigeria's House of Representatives has indeed come a long way. The caliber of principal officers at the inauguration of the 9th House, whether by fate or coincidence, was clear from the onset that experience will be the driving force of the 360-member House, drawn from 10 political parties, who committed themselves to the resolution that nation building is a joint task.
Serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory, so help me God.
Femi Gbajabiamila, the Speaker, is 5 times elected member, Surulere 2 Federal Constituency of Lagos State. Deputy Speaker Ahmed Idris Wasi from Plateau State has been in the Green Chamber since 2007. And Hassan Ado Dogwa, House Leader from Kano, is a House member from 1999. Mohammed Tahir Mangunu, Chief Whip, another experienced legislator from Borno, and Ndudi Lumelu, the minority leader from Delta, have in the last 1 year shaped the face of the 9th House of Representatives. The House drafted a 15-point legislative agenda, among which are budget reform, fighting corruption, and accountability.
Our mission is clear, and our path is defined. With God on our side, and with the support of our people, we will not fail.
Without compromising its independence, the 9th House aligned with the executive for the good of the country.
Our responsibility as an institution is not something that we will continue to operate in isolation, given our constitutional powers or constitutional privileges or responsibilities. We feel government is one process that, at least within the tripartite existence of the judiciary, the executive arm of government, the legislature, we must have to work together on the same page to provide what people expect of us.
Members have also come to realize that what is important is what they take back to their constituencies, not engaging in any fiscal or quarrels. So if you realize that, then what now happens is for you to focus on what will make you be accountable to your people.
It has, to its credit, worked on several bills.
We passed into law at third reading 39 bills which would be transmitted or have been transmitted to Senate for concurrence.
It has in the last 1 year introduced 853 bills, out of which 36 were passed, 639 are waiting second reading, 103 referred to committees, 65 are at third reading stage, 2 bills withdrawn and 1 negatived. Major bills passed are the 2020 budget, the finance bill, which aims at accruing more revenue for governments, the Power Sector Reform Bill, which criminalized estimated billing, the economic stimulus bill in response to COVID-19, among others.
Others are awaiting presidential assent, like the deep offshore-onshore dichotomy law, which aims at increasing the revenue accruable to the Nigerian Federation with a view to bridging the infrastructure gap.
The infectious bill, that shows you that we are thinking how to move things forward. That shows you that the condition we find ourselves, even with the COVID, that we don't like it. And so we are trying to add value. What do we do to add value? So this Ninth Assembly is a house that is constantly thinking about how to add value.
All right. Many thanks to Lami Ali for that report. Joining us today, let's say, of course, representation and legislation is taking even more significance around the world at this time, with resources becoming scarce and priorities shifting to accommodate the current realities, which are largely offshoots of the raging pandemic. Now, as I said earlier, joining us is Honorable Kasimu Bello Megari, who will give us an insight from the perspective of the younger generation. He represents the people of Jalingo Yorozing Federal Constituency of Taraba State. Thank you very much for joining us again. And of course, we're also being joined for the first time on the show by Professor Stephen Azaiki. He is representing Yenogua Kulukuma Opulukuma Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State, and to give us an academic evaluation. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. Let's start like this. Let me start from you, Honorable Megari. What are your experiences like in terms of delivering for your people, representing your people in the House of Assembly after 1 year?
Let me start by thanking the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. In fact, he gave more concentration on youths and women in the Ninth Assembly. That what gave us an upper hand in learning and also in representing our people. If you can see, check, we passed about 853 bills. Half of it, you can see, if you check, almost half of it is presented by the younger ones. This, we cannot achieve it without the support and encouragement from the leadership of the House. So far, so good. Youth are making a very good representations, and at least we have a very good number of youths in this House, and they are all committed to what brings us to the National Assembly.
I'm going to come to a question later on the show about ropes and goats, but let's move to Prof very quickly. Tell us a bit in terms of, when we're doing the introduction, we're talking about the new normal and the creative ways of legislation, responding quickly to the aspiration and desires of your people. And of course, we know that the pandemic has shifted the goalpost a bit, and now we need to begin to look at how we can function within the new normal. So what are your impressions so far, and some of the things that may have curtailed the early exuberance and where we have found ourselves now?
Thank you very much for bringing me on this show. I think that we are going to live with this new normal for quite some time. And let me just say that the COVID-19 will probably be with us for some time. We're probably going to live with it like malaria and typhoid, that's with us. But having said that, let me say that a lot of things have changed. In fact, let's start from greeting your own colleagues in the House. You either wave or you use the shoulder. So that on itself still creates some difficulties, because Nigerian especially, we are used to hugging, backslapping and so on and so forth. So that's an example of the new norm. The other one is that I must also join my colleague Megari to congratulate and appreciate the Speaker, because he was deliberate, he was bold, he was audacious. He had the protocol and the impetus to quickly move the House of Rep into sitting, in spite of the fact that there was these difficulties and impression that we should not sit, even though we are not sitting as normal, but we are sitting and we are discussing the issues that surround Nigeria. Then coming to your question, let me just say that our people expect so much more than we can give. In fact, in economics, we call it managing expectations, and that has been very, very difficult because a lot of excuses, people making requests, people saying something using the COVID-19 as an excuse. So a lot of pressure on members, but it has not deterred us from doing our legislative duties. And in fact, the new norms call for legislations that will impact positively. That is, the executive moves motion, making the central bank do this, federal government do this. So I think that we're going to live with that new norm.
I'm coming back to you soon because you're a professor of agriculture, but you are from an agrarian area, and one of the main focus now is since oil prices have plummeted consistently over the past 5 months, is looking at other areas like agriculture. Are you beginning to look at how to engage your constituency, especially, and driving this push to make sure that the farms, mechanized farming and all that is made vibrant, and access to, farm inputs are also available?
Actually, everybody is now going back to agriculture. They don't even wait for somebody to tell him, go back to the farm. But what I appreciate is the CBN intervention in terms of agriculture. Definitely, they have budgeted a lot of billions, and some people confirmed to us that they have received some supplement agricultural equipments, seed and fertilizer and other farm inputs. So we have to thank federal government for this early support. Sometimes they give the inputs well, they are not needed. They will not give it until this October, November. That's the farming season has already passed. But this time, federal government has tried. They have started distributing all those things in time. And alhamdulillah, our people, as you mentioned, majority of Tarabians are farmers. And they have gone back to farm, except that's security challenges that we have here and there, which inshallah we can overcome them.
All right, we have two people from two very different regions of the country. You are from the riverine areas. What are the challenges, and how creatively are you addressing this as we run towards rounding up?
You're talking in terms of agriculture generally?
Yes, you are from the aquatic region.
I think that the major challenge facing Nigeria is the fact that we've not really addressed the issue of dignity of labor. We've not addressed the issue of making agriculture and the people that live in the rural area matter. Now, agriculture is basically a rural setting profession. And you can see today, everybody has moved into the city. And take Abuja, for example. When you are on the street, you see a lot of young people idling away in the cities, Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, everywhere. So around the country, we have to go back and look at changing the mentality and the way we think and our impression of agriculture.
You are a professor of agriculture, so are you driving some of this in terms of legislative input?
When I was the pro-chancellor and chairman of our premier university, the Niger Delta University in Bayelsa State, one of the things I promoted was inculcating the spirit of entrepreneurship and agriculture in the young ones. Now, we had a program, we said every student should pay 5,000 naira. With that 5,000 naira, you will learn a profession. Now, we don't have time, so I won't go into the details of how we prepare our students in the universities. So I said, if you do this, you must graduate with a profession. The students kicked against it because they have to pay 5,000. And this 5,000 will give you a skill. So
apart from your direction of study?
Yes. if we don't go back and look at changing attitude, changing our mentality, the way we reason, our impression about agriculture, we will not have agriculture in this country the way it's practiced elsewhere. We can only be doing subsistence farming, what my mother was doing 70 years, 80 years ago. But if we want to do agriculture, we must start from our curriculum. We must start from making people have that feeling that every labor, even agriculture, has dignity.
All right, let me come back to the House itself. You are from the APC, he is from the PDP. There's a lot of cooperation, backslapping, and all that. We're not seeing that crossfire like before. Is it that maybe the pandemic has brought in new realities and there is more need for cooperation these days?
Whatever political party you belong to, your people or the country is the first priority we have. So that's why you see in the House, if we go there, we keep party aside. We look at what is good for Nigerians and what is good for our constituents. That's why you see we are operating in harmony, because we don't have much misunderstanding, even though sometimes it's normal, we have one or two disagreements, but definitely the leadership is trying to manage all these differences. That's why you see we are working in good relationship.
All right, before we go, of course, there are elections in Edo and Ondo State very shortly. As politicians, the table is changing a little. No rallies are not the in thing now. How do you begin to reach your constituencies and your constituents, I beg your pardon?
Well, I think that we are living with the new norms now. Only a few days ago, I had a Zoom conference meeting with the Medical University of Bayelsa State. The other day, I had a Zoom conference meeting with my leaders of my constituency and my supporters. So we're going to do that for some time. Also, we are now deliberate in using the social media to communicate. The Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. A lot of things have changed.
And of course, the Nigerian Television Authority.
Of course, the NTA.
Thank you very much for coming on the program. Finally, Honorable Megari, a word or two for your constituents at this time.
I want to call on our constituents to know this pandemic is real, and we must follow the protocols established by the NCDC. So, and we should maintain social distances and follow all the procedures. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We've had two members of the House of Representatives on the 1-year anniversary of the 9th House of Reps, and of course we've also had impressions from the state. Of course, there was a small briefing from the governor of Edo State. Let me make quick apologies to our center in Benin. Of course, they had a package on the political movement. We'll be looking at all that in the course of this month, all the political gladiators in Edo State, and then of course we'll move to Ondo State as well. You've been watching Political Updates on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I want to thank you for watching, and of course we'll be back as usual on Friday with a brighter package. My name is Fisel Ogunfi. Thanking you for being a part of it. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye now.